Philippine and the United States Armed Forces declared today's live fire exercises as successful. Issues on the West Philippine Sea and the 2016 Hague ruling will soon be taught to high school students. And the MWSS wants local governments to limit recreational activities that consume a lot of water to head off the possible effects of the El Nino. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. Filipino and American troops conducted live fire drills in Zambales today as part of the biggest Balikatan military exercises. Gio Robles with the story.
Before his official visit to the U.S., President Bongbong Marcos attended the culminating activity of the biggest Balikatan exercises between the U.S. and the Philippines. This is the first time that Marcos witnessed the live fire drill since it kicked off over 2 weeks ago. This year's Balikatan is marked with many firsts, with a sinking exercise being the highlight for today. Equipped with state-of-the-art aerial and naval assets, over 1,000 Filipino and American soldiers joined forces to sink the Navy's decommissioned BRP Pangasinan. The AFP stressed that the exercise will enhance the interoperability of both American and Filipino forces in conducting combined joint operations for maritime and territorial defense. Marcos was not able to meet the press, but speaking to local and foreign media, Balikatan spokesperson Colonel Michael Lohico said that PBBM lauded the joint drills today.
The President watched the exercise and he understands the challenges that is entailed in doing a combined operation at this level. And from that, the appreciation of the President is what we came out with.
However, Lohico says he cannot confirm yet if the delays encountered were caused by an unregistered plane off West Philippine Sea.
It will be up to the sensors to verify that. Safety is always a primary consideration when we conduct the exercise. Any interloper or any intrusion into the exercise that will endanger the lives of people, whether it's intentional or accidental, is our primary consideration.
In the same interview, the United States emphasized yet again, said that the Balikatan is not directed at China amid a growing dispute at the West Philippine Sea as well as the Taiwan Strait.
The resolve and partnership is far stronger than any technical element that we have, and that's the true message of Balikatan. In translation, shoulder to shoulder, that doesn't mean weapon to weapon, it really means family.
The Balikatan exercises will wrap up on Friday, April 28th. For News 5, Gio Robles, we are One News.
Moving on to the Education Department wanting to include lessons on the West Philippine Sea issue and the landmark 2016 arbitral ruling in its proposed basic education curriculum. The DepEd says these topics will go into the Araling Panlipunan syllabus to be taught in grade 10. If approved, this new curriculum's inclusion of maritime disputes will be the first time that students learn about the ruling in a formal setting. Aside from that, the proposed curriculum will also include lessons on the Philippine economy under the COVID-19 pandemic. We're pausing for a quick break, but we have more stories for you right after that. Keep it here on One News. You're back on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Philippine Embassy in Egypt is speeding up evacuation measures for OFWs stranded along the border of war-torn Sudan. Camille Samonte reports.
7 buses carrying at least 300 Filipinos have started evacuating Sudan. They are taking advantage of the 72-hour ceasefire by warring factions in Khartoum. Among these is OFW Rakni Aguilar, who is part of the second batch of Filipinos that was rescued in Khartoum.
Emotional din, siyempre matagal na kami dito. Kaso lang, ang issue namin is yung aming seguridad din. Kaya mas pinili namin lahat halos dito na umuwi na lang. Hindi ko alam, pero may mga natitira pa rin na baka sumunod na rin sila. Kasi nga dun sa panawagan ng gobyerno na i-evacuate talaga lahat ng natitirang OFW kasi medyo magulo na nga talaga.
Rakni and other Filipino nationals will be traveling to Wadi Halfa, the border of Sudan. Their trip would take almost 11 hours.
Lahat naman, kasi willing naman talaga sila na ma-repatriate. Pero nandiyan pa rin yung concern ng pag-aalala kasi bibiyahe pa kami, mahaba-habang biyahe pang abutin namin. Kaya yan nga pinagbabawal mag-ano ng cellphone habang nasa biyahe kami. Bawal magbukas ng pintana ng kurtina ng sasakyan unless sa mga lugar na idideklara nilang safe.
Some Filipinos in Sudan, meanwhile, are taking their fate into their own hands by fleeing the battle-scarred country themselves. Bernard, along with other Pinoys, no longer waited for the assistance from the Philippine Embassy in Egypt. Instead, they rented buses just to take them out of the clashes.
We don't have idea kung paano po kami i-cater pagdating sa Cairo po, no? Pero we expect na kasi kami po ay stress, wala kaming tulog. Laging alert kami sa gabi. And we expect na magpapahinga na lang kami siguro once we get there. Mahaba po yung biyahe.
The Department of Foreign Affairs admitted that they are struggling to evacuate Filipinos from Sudan due to grueling procedures before entering Egypt. At least 71 Filipinos included in the first batch of evacuees are now stranded in the border of Sudan due to entry and exit requirements.
We are sorry kung nahihirapan pumasok. Nakikiusap din kami sa Egyptian Foreign Ministry. Kasi yung iba sa kanila wala kasi passport din. Siyempre wala silang lahat visa. So isa pa yan, no? Kaya kailangan ayusin pa, no?
Meanwhile, Philippine Ambassador to Egypt Izzedine Tago and Vice Consul Boher Kapati's car rolled over twice as they were rushing on their way to the border. Luckily, both officials survived and will continue their trip after Kapati gets hospital clearance.
Kasi minamadali niya makapunta sa border kasi mahirap yung pagpaproseso doon. Kaya kagabi, ang bilis nilang umalis ng Cairo by car para makarating ng umaga sa border. Na-aksidente, nakasagasa ng maliit na wall, umikot ng 2 beses. Ganun pa man, mamayang hapon, lilipad na lang siya sa border.
The Vega said the Philippine Embassy in Egypt is already trying to fix the delays in the processing of Filipino evacuees. They are also exploring the deployment of assistance to nationals teams to Wadi Halfa and to Port of Sudan to provide consular assistance to evacuating nationals. For News 5, Camille Samonte, we are One News.
In other news, the MWSS is pushing to limit the water consumption of recreational facilities as the El Nino looms. Shyla Francisco with the story.
Amid the threat of El Nino, Pag-asa is closely monitoring the level of Angat Dam, Metro Manila's main source of water. As of Wednesday morning, it settled at 196.18 meters, still within the operational level. But water supply in the metro may be affected once it reaches its minimum operating level of 180 meters.
Pagka ganun na po yung mga level, so meron na rin pong mga initiatives, so meron po na mga sectors na talagang either mababawasan po or nare-regulate na rin yung mga pagbibigay ng tubig sa kanila. Nababawasan yung says for irrigation and sometimes nagkakaroon po tayo ng talagang water interruption na medyo matatagal.
The Metropolitan Water Works and Sewerage System or MWSS now wants local government units to pass ordinances to suspend or limit water consumption in recreational facilities.
Kailangan po natin ito ng polisiya. Dapat may national policy tayo o kaya magagaling ito sa mga local government units na i-restrict po nila yung paggamit ng mga katulad ng mga car wash natin, yung swimming pool natin, yung mga golf courses natin. Kasi po malalakas din po sila kumonsumo. Yun lang po ma'am, ang isang paraan para po makadistribute din po tayo ng sapat na tubig po sa mga customers po ng ating mga konsesyonal.
Around 2,000 households will benefit if all 1,000 car wash served by Maynilad and Manila Water will suspend or limit their water consumption. But the number could double if swimming pools and golf courses in the Metro Manila and nearby provinces will also cut their consumption. Swimming pool owners and management have no qualms about the proposal.
Hindi naman laging araw-araw yung may swimming. Tsaka pag magpapalit naman kami ng tubig, kung kunwari ganyan may swimming, hindi namin iubusin naman yung tubig, bali dadagdagan lang namin kasi pag inuubos talaga namin yung tubig, masasayang din yung bali lagyan na lang ng kunting gamot, chlorine lang, tapos dagdagan ng tubig, yun lang.
However, car wash owners are not fully supportive of the idea.
Malaking epekto talaga kapag nawala yung tubig sa amin. Kasi syempre, ito yung bumubuhay sa mga car wash crew namin. And then, sa tag-init, ay yung pinakamalakas na kita namin. Meron kaming morning hanggang 11 p.m. So parang maapektuhan talaga yung operation namin.
Dorado clarifies that the proposal would only be implemented in times of emergency.
Ang sa atin lang po, kaya po sinasabi ito po'y mangyayari lang po, itong restriction ito, during emergency period to. Hindi naman, ulitin ko lang po, hindi ito pangmatagalan. Kapag kailangan lang po natin.
The Metro Manila Council has yet to respond on the proposal. Shaila Francisco, we are One News.
One News Now will be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News. All sides, all the time.